In this lecture, we'll learn how to create and run our first container. We're going to create a container from an image. The image we're going to use here is called BusyBox. Let's go check it out. Here, we're at Docker Hub website. Just search for BusyBox. Let's click the first one, which is the official BusyBox repository. We'll quickly scroll down the document. As you see, BusyBox is a tiny image, which is only about 1 megabyte. This is the main reason we choose BusyBox, because of its tiny size, so it would take little time to download. Let's check out the Tags tab. BusyBox has various different tags. Here, we pick tag 1.24 to run our container. Let's close the browser and open the Docker Quick Start terminal. If you have installed Docker for Mac, Docker for Windows, or you are using Linux, you can just open up a normal terminal. When we use the image to create a container, Docker will first look through our local box to find the image. If Docker is able to find the image locally, it will use the local image to create the container. If Docker can't find the local copy of the image, it will download from remote registry. To find out what image you have in your local box, we can run the Docker images command. See, we don't have any images in my local box. Now let's start running our container. To run a container, we will use docker run command. Docker run command will create the container using the image we specify in the command line, and it will spin up the container and run it. As we talked about in the previous lecture, an image is specified by the repository name and tag. We need to put a column between the repository name and the tag. So let's use BusyBox image with tag 1.24. After that, we need to specify what command we would like to run in that container and pass the argument for that command. The command we're going to run is echo, and let's put the argument hello world. So the Docker should output hello world after spinning up the container. Then hit enter. As you see, Docker goes ahead and downloads the image from the remote repository. That is because we don't have BusyBox 1.24 on our local box. After Docker downloads the image, it will create the container from the image and run the container. See? Docker outputs hello world, which is what we expected. Now, if we run Docker images command again, as you see, we have one image, which is the one we just downloaded, BusyBox 1.24, and the image has a unique ID. When we run the container again, Docker will use local copy of the image to create and run the container. Let's see it in action. Notice how faster the execution is. It prints out hello world right away. This is because we already have the BusyBox 1.24 image in our local box. So Docker just creates the container from the local image right away, without the need to download the image from remote registry. Let's see another example. Let's say we want to display all the contents in the root directory of the container. Just do docker run BusyBox 1.24, then ls command /. There you go! Docker outputs all the contents under the root directory of container. We can also run container in an interactive mode so that we can go inside the container. We need another two options, -i and -t. The -i flag will start an interactive container. The -t flag will create a presto tty that attaches standard input and output. Let's see this in action. Here we do docker run -i-d. We'll keep using BusyBox 1.24 again as the image. Now we hit enter. There you go. It gets me right inside the container. We can run ls command. See? It gives us all the contents in root level. Let's say we want to create a new file here called a .txt. After that, we do ls again. We can see the file is created. Now, we can type exit to exit the container. Note that once we exit the container, Docker also shuts down the container. If I run the same container using the exact same container run command, Docker will spin up a container. But this time, Docker starts a brand new container. So if I go check out the file I created previously by running ls command, you can see it is not there. As you see, when we run docker run command, it spins up a new container. The container we created previously with a text file has been shut down.